Welcome to TYT Sports, joined today by Hassan Piker. Hassan, there's actually not many people, you might be the only person at work here, TYT, that I say, we go back.
We do.
About 2.5 years
We don't talk
now.
shit, we just state facts.
We just state facts. That is a fact.
TYT
That is
Sports.
Hassan Piker. Thank you for coming on today, Hassan. Very excited
for
to
having
have
me.
you here. Jason Rubin with you to discuss Patrick Kane. Yes, I see the tweets. I see the comments. You wanted a fucking Patrick Kane clip. You get your Patrick Kane clip, okay? Well, there's a lot going on specifically with Patrick Kane, beginning with an ongoing alleged, and that is the most important word in this entire clip, alleged sexual assault. No charges have been filed. But let's start with the context. We have two quotes, at least to what happened. Actually, before we run the quotes, go back. We're going back. Before we get to the quotes, my bad, Jacory. That's on me. Basically, at Sky Bar, a nightclub in Buffalo, Patrick Kane was out doing a Stanley Cup celebration party. It was supposed to be his day/night with the Stanley Cup, which is really one of the coolest traditions in all sports, is you get to bring the trophy with you for a day if you're on the winning team. Do whatever you want with it. You can follow it on Twitter, on Instagram.
What do you think is the most inappropriate thing someone has done to the Stanley Cup when they had it?
When they had it, I would be surprised if anybody went like extreme and like, it makes me think of Step Brothers, like I'm gonna put my nutsack on your drum set.
If you think that someone hasn't put their nutsack all over the Stanley Cup, you are a fool, sir.
And not that I'm not trying to take this at all. See, this is a very serious instance in which Patrick Kane is involved in. But he was at the Sky Bar nightclub. He was having a Stanley Cup celebration party there. There was two girls, and according to the nightclub owner, and this is where it does get a little bit fishy, was saying one was being very flirtatious with him and almost like staving off other girls from going around Patrick Kane. These are two of the same girls that he brought back with him via his chauffeur to his house in Hamburg. Beautiful house, if you've ever seen the pictures. Plays to be a Stanley Cup winning hockey player. From there, we have the quotes for context, because this is where it gets fishy. This is where all the allegations have come from. So quote number 1 from Patrick Kane, I believe it's graphic number 11. Now Jacory can run it. Thanks, buddy. Shortly after she and her friend arrived at Kane's home on Old Lakeshore Road, the accuser alleges that she went by herself into another room where Kane followed her, overpowered her, and raped her. Next quote, at least describes more of it. Sources with knowledge of the investigation said that the young woman who has accused the hockey superstar of rape had bite marks on her shoulders and a scratch on her leg after the alleged attack. The Buffalo News story goes into more detail, sketchy detail though, claiming that she called her family immediately in a traumatic state, freaking out, very upset and frustrated, and then called the police to file the report of the alleged sexual assault. Now, Deadspin and, what do you call it, chauffeur, I'm sorry, Patrick Kane's chauffeur, who goes by the name...
an off-duty cop.
Lieutenant Thomas English, yes, off-duty cop.
All of his papers are in order.
100% true, yes.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to take time off as a police officer to do an off-duty event, you need to file paperwork, and Buffalo's police department has all the paperwork filed. So this has all been set up at that point anyway. He took Patrick Kane and the two girls and one other male friend that no news source mentioned with him back to his house, which means already the Buffalo News source, which again is still to me has its spotty arguments to it, failed to mention that. And then, of course, outlash comes on Facebook now from Patrick Kane's lawyer to those who are commenting on this. And this is where I want to bring you more specifically into this clip, Hassan, because check this out. We go to the Facebook clip. This is graphic number 14. Alan Bendecco, Kane paid an off-duty cop to drive him around when he was too trash to drive himself. Kane's paid driver has nothing relevant to say. He goes on, and Paul Cambria, if you pause it right there, is Patrick Kane's lawyer responding to these comments on Facebook as, what is your problem as a lawyer? Respect the process. And he goes more. There's more of it down the list, him commenting. Do you find it a little bit inappropriate, or do you think it's okay and acceptable in today's age to use social media to respond when you're in the middle of an alleged sexual assault or any serious lawsuit for that matter?
Absolutely not. I think using social media for anything is terrible. Anything outside of just like funny tweets is a terrible, terrible idea, and people see repercussions for this frequently. I mean, people are getting fired from their jobs left and right for all the things that they're saying, and it's a totally, like, should this be public versus private thought? Like, it's a whole nother debate. But I do think it's completely unprofessional, the lawyer, to just go on Facebook and comment on things like an angry, like anonymous YouTuber. You know what I mean? Just and kind of starting a debate on Facebook with other people or any sort of outlet of social media with other people is terribly unprofessional, and you probably should get fired.
Right, and it's so, I mean, for a certain extent to it, he should be in at least a little more hot water for even going to Facebook. One, because I feel like as you're representing Patrick Kane,
Are we 100% sure that this is Patrick Kane's lawyer?
Yes, 100% sure. He took to Facebook to respond to the comments. Again, ridiculous. In my opinion.
First of all, who goes to Facebook? Why didn't you go on Twitter, bro? Like, everyone is on Twitter. It's more of a public forum than Facebook.
I thought everyone's on Instagram.
It's what the young kids are doing.
The young kids, these 15 and 16-year-olds with their social media and how to use it correctly. And the grammar police that runs with him, too, because he spelt wasted wrong. I
know, I saw that. I'm like, what kind of a lawyer spells wasted wrong?
Yeah, seriously. I mean, so for someone who should be well-versed.
3 years of law school. It's a lot of reading.
Could have been 4, could have been 2. You don't know. You don't know.
I don't.
Maybe University of Buffalo. That would have been ironic with it.
I have a question. I wonder if his lawyer is also going to see this YouTube video and comment as an anonymous YouTube commenter, like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Like, why is that guy wearing a tie?
I would be
and the other one's wearing a T-shirt."
I would be so happy. Paul Cambria, you are totally welcome to come comment on our YouTube channel. Although it's wrong, you're welcome to do it. Totally welcome to do it. So, the Spotty reporting continues because, again, alleged sexual assault. We are in no position to make any judgment on whether he is guilty or not because we don't have the evidence or facts to support one or the other. I'm sure in due time, due process, we'll get more. Yeah. But it comes a lot down to Mark Croce, who is Sky Bar's nightclub owner, to which he said, and this is where he gets quoted in the Buffalo News story as well as many other.
Why did I start a Sky Bar in Buffalo? I don't know.
He said that that Deadspin claims that Croce was victim blaming, saying that that the drunk girl that was in attendance with Kane was very attractive, very flirtatious. That's where those words started coming from. But the important part of that is whether she was attracted to him or not, whether she was flirtatious with him or not, does not.
Whether she gave consent is the most important aspect of this entire conversation.
Exactly.
And this is a delicate matter, right?
Yes.
And that's what really upsets me about digital journalism and some of the stuff that we do as well, where it's like everyone is trying to be the first to report it so they get more clicks and, in turn, more revenue. So now people are just like, all these journalist ethics that we frowned upon in the past, like yellow journalism or any sort of like sensationalist pieces that people were putting out, or slander and libel, which should be illegal, people just engage in these activities frequently, and it really upsets me, and it really sets the bar low for journalism overall. And what Buffalo News did was they saw a sensationalist piece, like they saw that this is going to be an article that's going to be quoted all around, regardless. I mean, we've seen the repercussions already, like NHL has taken Patrick Kane off the cover. They know that this is going to be a big story, and they immediately report it without maybe not really looking at all the facts, and that's terrible. That's especially that outlets of media should never do that, regardless. Like that should be the standard protocol, that you really carefully cover all aspects of a certain situation, and people still fuck up. Like these things still happen.
Yes.
But on top of that, this is a specifically very delicate case. Like you're ruining someone's lives by just pointing the finger at something. You might even be ruining the victim's life. You might be ruining Patrick Kane's life.
And that's a really strong point because, of course, Patrick Kane, being the superstar that he is, a top 20 NHL hockey player, an American-born hockey player, it's his reputation on the line. If he turns out that he's not guilty and there was no sexual assault, then his name is slandered in a certain way that will always be associated with, well, he kind of was linked to a sexual assault even though he was found innocent. Or the opposite way is that if he was, of course, that's terrible. And then the other angle from it is the girl, who, if she is found guilty of alleging these charges and they're not true, again, falls on Patrick Kane. And if she did get sexually abused or assaulted, our hearts go out to her. It's the most terrible thing that could happen. And she gets, attention gets put on her for a lot of specific reasons to Patrick Kane. But again, what it comes down to, at least in my opinion, is the reporting. When you have, 3 different sources, spotty analysis, spotty reporting, and victim blaming, and this is coming from the Buffalo News, which is a respected paper
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo, but it's not. It's a paper in circulation, is my point here.
Yeah.
It's a local paper, of course, so when it hits them, it's a major story because I'm going to be honest, I don't know how much news happens in Buffalo on a regular basis. But of course, we move forward to the NHL cover that you alluded to a little bit before. Jonathan Toews, ironically, Patrick Kane's teammate, who rose the Stanley Cup next to him for the second time in his career this year as well, has been replaced on the cover they actually shared the cover. It was Pat Kane and Toews, and now they switched it for the Xbox One and PS4 for the EA Sports NHL 16 cover art. We were discussing a little bit about this off camera. The NHL, and I think you're in agreement with this, is simply just covering their bases. Yeah. Whether he assaulted someone or not, or sexually abused anybody or not, it's not good to have any kind of link to that, especially, everyone says think of the kids. Yeah, but just think of the EA Sports. They want to sell games. They want to have somebody who isn't associated with any of that regardless if he's guilty or innocent. Now, I guess the question for you, Hassan, is do you think he should be suspended before more news comes out, or at least hard evidence of what happened comes out?
Absolutely not. I mean, and even if hard evidence comes out that he actually has committed a crime and then they suspend it, then that's perfect. That's fine. I understand that. And we see these procedures happening in the NFL as well all the time. Sometimes not as great as the NHL. Like sometimes they don't take the preventative measures or they don't take the suspension immediately and they kind of wait till more aspects of the news comes out and then the public judges and the public decides on whether or not someone. I'm alluding to the Ray Rice elevator case, of course. Right. And NFL is a huge, obviously a much larger franchise than the NHL. But I think they're just covering their bases and that's totally fine. Yeah, it's understandable.
It's not like, Wayne Gretzky's coming off the cover of the EA Sports NHL Legends Edition. You're talking about a guy who is linked to what could be a career debilitating move or something that unfortunately will be stuck with him. Again, I'm objectively giving both sides here because until evidence comes out, until either a trial or some sort of hard news comes out that he either did this or he did not, it's not fair for us to make any other opinion besides giving the facts of what we know. And I read into, I think, 7 different sources.
Yeah.
Deadspin, Buffalo News, of course USA Today had a whole piece on it, Sports Illustrated. They all went after this. And very few of them have similarities between the reporting, and that's what's so interesting to me. I believe that is everything regarding Patrick Kane. If you stuck with us for the entire clip, you can follow Hassan on Twitter at Hassan the Hun.
At Hassan the Hun.
Hassan the Hun. HASANTHEHUN.
Yes.
Same on Instagram?
Yes.
Follow him. He does lots of things in the gym. He does hairstyles. He does man bun Mondays.
And also follow me on Pop Trigger.
That's probably a better one.
Probably a better plug.
I should give you that plug too. Here we go. Plugging again in 3, 2, 1. Hassan the Hun also on Pop Trigger. Pop Crunch, an awesome 2 to 3 to 4 minute breakdown of what is big in pop culture for the week. Yeah, including Zayn Malik, Shia LaBeouf. Any other favorites?
Or other millennial cultural breakdowns like Tinder and the hookup culture. Is it ruining our generation? Stuff like that.
Is it? Well, is it ruining the generation? Comment on Hassan's Twitter or YouTube with those points. Follow myself at JasonRubin91 for Twitter and Instagram. TYT Sports is also on Instagram as well, at TYT Sports Official. Been uploading thumbnails for y'all. Maybe we'll get some more interesting stuff.
See it. Do that.
Oh, God. Subscribe by clicking on
TYT Sports. Right there.